Hey Stampers, welcome to Brandy's Cards. I have a fun card for you today using the Hug and the Mug stamp set. It's super cute and I love my lattes and I love hot chocolate and all those great things that come with fall. So I just really was excited to make this card for you. So the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog is out and I'm in love with it. There's so many great cards and projects and stamp sets and embellishments inside of the catalog. It's amazing. And I only wish that I was able to create one with everything in there, but I'm trying. So today the Hug and the Mug is what we're going to focus on, and I'm going to show you a couple different versions of it. So let's go ahead and open up our catalog. And so this stamp set, I believe, is on page 42. So let's turn to page 42. There it is right there. So check this out. This is just such a little sweet stamp set. And I think one of the things that always I look at all the pieces and I'm like, do I cut those? Are there framelits? Are there not framelits? And when there's framelits, it's fantastic, right? Because we can piece it together. Well, this one does not come with framelits, but it looks super cute, just all stamped flat. And I can also show you, if you want to cut it out, how cool it looks cut out as well. So now right over here to the right hand side, you'll see on page 43 this cute little card. Yeah, does that look familiar? Well, that is the card that we're going to make today. It's going to be my version of that card actually. So hot chocolate is like a hug and a mug. I pretty much did everything that Stampin' Up! Did, except I didn't use vellum. And I kind of changed it up. It looks like they've got the ribbon behind the vellum here, and instead I did Pool Party in real red. And then I used a fun little staple to kind of dress it up over here. So I'm going to kind of show you exactly how I did this card and how easy it is and how much fun it would be to make a bunch of these and send these out. You could even send them out with a gift card to maybe Starbucks, so someone could maybe get their own hot chocolate or coffee. So what do you need to make this? Well, right here, this is all I have, is Garden Green, Whisper White. I've got a scrap piece of real red and then Pool Party. So that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to just jump right in. Let's go ahead and fold our Garden Green in half. And then I did cut a piece of Whisper White. That piece is for the inside of my card. I always like to finish the inside. Of course, you could go back and you could decide, well, maybe I'll stamp a cute mug on the inside of this card as well. I didn't do that today, but you certainly can, and it would be adorable to do that. So we're going to go ahead and flip the top over, and so now our base of our card is ready to be stamped on. So take a look at all of this stuff on my desk. So there are lots of parts and pieces, but as you can see here, some of these I just mounted on both sides because I can still see through each side, and it's I'm not going to continuously use them, so I didn't think it was a problem to do that. Now you could mount each piece after you stamp it, then take it off and then add another piece. That's perfectly fine too. But to save time, I tried to find all of my blocks for you guys today. So the first one I'm going to do is the cute little marshmallow. I just think he is adorable. So we're going to do him in Garden Green. And so I'm going to randomly stamp my marshmallow all over the back of my card. And the beauty of photopolymer is you can see exactly where you're stamping it, right? So there's no, and if you don't get a perfect stamp on it, you can always go back over it, which is great. So I've got a few marshmallows on here, and I love that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some Hershey Kisses. I think that's what those are supposed to be, some chocolate. So we're going to add some chocolate to our card. And the Hershey Kisses, they're just going to kind of be very random as well, just kind of here and there. I just want it to look really festive in the background. Because we like chocolate and we like these little marshmallows in our hot chocolate. That sounds so good. Okay, so I think that's good. So now what I'm going to do is there is kind of maybe a starburst or a star in there. And so let me find that guy. He is here, I promise you. There he is. And so what we're going to do is we're going to ink that guy up and stamp him all over the base as well. And so I'm just kind of pushing it down through here, and it's very random. You know, every card turns out different, and that's perfectly fine. I don't think that's the beauty of stamping. There's certainly no right or wrong way to do it. So, but I'm not overlapping these pieces. I am keeping them kind of on their own. And then, you know, you don't always have to fill the spaces, but I did like the little 3 dots. And so these little guys are right here. I did like those. So I'm just gonna add those, just a few of those around, just kind of to fill a little bit of the spaces. They kind of make it a little bit more festive, really. Not totally sure why. Maybe it's that kind of confetti look, but anyway, so I'm going to stamp a few of those around, and then we'll put a couple up at the top and make our way around our card. Perfect. Okay, so now the base of our card is all done, so we are all set with that. That was pretty easy, right? I thought so. And remember, you don't have to stamp in the center because we're going to add the top of our image there, so we don't really have to worry about that anyway. All right, so I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock here, and if you're new to Brandy's cards and you haven't seen any of the sizes and the dimensions, that's okay. If you go to brandyscards.com, and in the navigational bar, you'll see a spot that says videos. If you click on videos, you're gonna be able to see all of my videos and find this project as well. So in the search bar on Brandy's cards, you can also type in hug in a mug. I'll probably put like hot chocolate or latte or something like that in there, coffee, as some other search words as well. And I also want to remind you that at the bottom of, in this video in YouTube, you can actually click for more information. You'll also find the link to that video and the sizes and the dimensions there as well. All right, so let's move on. I have a lot more to show you here. So this was kind of funny. So in the stamp set, which is also right here, I think Stampin' Up! Meant for this piece right here to be a tray. But when I did it, I kind of made it a table. So we're gonna keep going with that. But in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, it shows it as like a tray, and someone would be bringing you the coffee. But you know, I thought it looked just as cute, you know, as the coffee's just sitting on there as well. So let's start out with hot chocolate is a hug in a mug. I've got basic black here, archival black, and I'm just going to stamp that right here in the middle towards the bottom of my cardstock. And that turned out great. And now I have my tray or my table or whatever you want it to be. And I just centered my sentiment, and now I'm going to add my table, and that turned out great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start kind of building our cups and our mugs and all that good stuff. So here's our square mug. You can see I have one on each side. So I'm going to add one on this side, and I'm going to add one on this side. I do recommend always re-inking your stamp. And then we're going to add the cute little tall mug in the center, and it's going to go right there. Perfect. Okay, so how about we add some whipped cream to our tall mug? I mean, this is the fun part because you can totally get creative and change all of these things up. This is just kind of the starting place, and I loved how Stampin' Up! Shared this card because I think our catalogs are just full of such great ideas and inspiration. So a lot of times when I'm not sure exactly where to go with a stamp set, I'll start in the catalog. So here's my marshmallows. Those are going to go right on top of this one right there. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, and so let's see, what else do I have here? I have lots of parts and pieces, so I have to kind of find everything. So let's do the little steam off of the other cup, and that one's going to go right here. I'm going to kind of stamp it a little bit off to the right so that I can add my cinnamon stick in there. I also have that same kind of starburst, and I'm going to add that to the center of my coffee cup right in there. Perfect. And let's see what else we've got. Here we have the spoon, so we'll add the spoon. And the spoon is going to go kind of right here next to our whipped cream. Isn't that looking so cute? So here is the cinnamon stick. And we're going to add the cinnamon stick over here. Love it. All right, so it looks like the only thing we're missing is the tree and my candy cane. So my candy cane is going to go right here by my marshmallows. And then we'll put the tree in the center of my cup. Done. Look at that. That is pretty awesome. Now that worked out great. And so the only thing I think I forgot, which we can go ahead and add now, is you'll notice here in this card, I kind of added these little lines across my, across the cup. I just thought it added a little something extra. It just kind of decorated or kind of dressed it up a little bit. So here's the lines, and I'm just gonna go ahead and ink that up, and let's just stamp them right now. There's one set of lines. You can do 2, you can do 3. Golly, you could do the whole cup if you wanted to, but we're just gonna do 2 for today. Now let's add some color. Here is the second, this is kind of a 2-step stamp. There's a couple pieces in there like the cup that has the flat piece where you can kind of fill the cup in. Of course, if you didn't want to use a stamp pad, you could certainly use a marker and just kind of fill it in yourself. There's lots of ways to be flexible there. All right, so I am gonna line this up, stamp it straight down and straight up, and it turned out super cute. Great. And we're gonna set that down, and now we have the flat piece for our other cup. We're gonna ink that guy up in red, in real red, and stamp that on our square. Oh my gosh, it turns out great. Love it. Now I do want to point out that anytime I've ever done this, it does kind of leave a little bit of white in there. It doesn't actually fill up that whole space. And the same thing here with my, with the cup with the whipped cream on the top. That doesn't really bother me because it's a stamped card and it's handmade, but if you don't like that, grab yourself a real red marker or a pool party marker and just color that in. It blends in perfectly. So I don't think you have to worry too much about that. So now you're gonna need some Stampin' Write markers. I've got chocolate chip. We've got basic black here, garden green, real red, and crumb cake. So let's start coloring this in and make it really festive. So I'm gonna start out with my tray, and I'm using crumb cake. Now I am just kind of starting at one end and working my way across to the other. And I'm not worried about the lights and the darks because I feel like wood grain can be all kinds of different colors, right? So I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna kind of color in the little knobs at the bottom, and then I'm gonna go back over it because I want it a little bit darker. So I'm just kind of going right back over it, just really gently. Nothing too crazy. And while I have this marker out, why don't we go ahead and color our cinnamon stick? So I wanted my cinnamon to be 2 different colors because I thought it stood out a little bit better. So we're gonna put the chocolate chip on the other side. My spoon, I'm gonna give my spoon one quick coat of crumb cake as well. My spoon handle, just really kind of quickly there. Now let's take our chocolate chip marker. And chocolate chip is going to be on the other side of our cinnamon stick, just like that, and the bottom of our tree. So those are our 2 chocolate chip pieces. And then we have garden green. Garden green is going to color in our tree right here. Just super easy, nothing too crazy. And you could even add a gem or a jewel to it if you would like. And then I have my real red marker. And the real red marker is for my candy cane. So I'm just kind of really carefully, because it's kind of a small spot, coloring in my candy cane. Now I'm going to put my markers aside because I'm all done with those. And we're going to move over to our glitter. Yes, I did say glitter. So when you're doing glitter, just be careful that you don't get any on your stamp pads or anything like that, because you don't want that, because then it'll start to get in your stamps and that sort of thing, and you won't have quite of a nice image. So I have Tombow glue. All I'm going to do is just put a little bit of Tombow glue up here in my on my whipped cream. and just using the tip of the glue to kind of, smooth it out. And then I have my Dazzling Diamonds glitter here in a Tupperware bowl. I find it is honestly the easiest way to go. And just sprinkle it over, and I'm going to tap it back off right inside the glitter. So it just kind of keeps everything tidy, and it's not nearly as messy as sometimes using a piece of paper. All right, so we're well on our way. I want to add a jewel before I move on. I have a Stampin' Up! Jewel here. We'll add that to the center of our red cup. So that looks adorable. Now let's pull back in our base. And so here, all I'm going to do, you'll notice underneath here is kind of a banner shape, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and make my own banner, just like that. All right, and I don't think it has to be perfect on each side, but if you want it to be more even, definitely you can do that by cutting in the center. Let's add our Tombow glue to the back of our pool party here. You don't need much glue at all. And then I'm just going to set it down. As far as placement goes, I don't know that I have a perfect place for it really. I just kind of liked it behind my image, and I know my image is going to be right around in this area. So I just kind of placed it down where I liked it. Now here I left my my scrap of Real Red. I left that one kind of with a straight cut edge, just to kind of give it a little bit of something different, and that's why I did that. Now what I'm going to do is I have some thick white baker's twine, and I'm going to take it and just sort of put it right over the two cardstocks, and then I'm going to use my stapler, just my normal office stapler, and I'm going to staple my thick baker's twine right there. Now I love to do this. The staple actually dresses it up a little bit too. So I just think that is kind of another fun thing that you can do to kind of add an embellishment. So you can see here, if your bow is too long, definitely give it a haircut. So I think that our glue, hopefully I think our glue is dry with our glitter on that, the Dazzling Diamonds glitter. So we need some Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to put those on the back of our card, or on the back of our image here. I'm going to put 5. That's just because this is a fairly large image, and I don't really want it to sink in the center or anything like that. So now if you guys have stuck with me, I'm excited to tell you that I have a stepped up version that I'm excited to show you, as well as a couple other ideas that I was playing with. So I'm excited to show those to you next. All right, so let's add our top of our image here right to our card. And I'm just going to center it, just like that. Awesome, it's super cute. I absolutely love this card. I love lattes. Anything cinnamon or pumpkin is my favorite. Of course, the tree here and the snowflake. It's just such a fun card, and I think anybody who received it would really enjoy that. So with that said, how about I show you the stepped up version? All right, so here is a version of this card. Now this one, I actually stamped all of the pieces that you see here, but I actually stamped it on scrap paper, and I cut them all out. That's right, and you're like going, oh my gosh, she cut them all out. I did, but again, certainly looks just as cute stamped flat, right? But that is just another option if you want to kind of step it up a little bit. And you'll see here I put the metallic embellishment, the star here in the center. And of course, I also did the glitter here on the whipped cream. So I thought that was kind of another fun version of the same card. So here is another version of this card. This one was not my favorite by any stretch, but I think it's got great potential. I think it needs a gem or a jewel, maybe a gem right here in the center of my tree. But it was kind of the last card of the evening, and I thought, it's not bad at all, right? So I'm going to still work with that one and play with this one. Now this one I loved. This one is You Warm My Heart. And I just thought this was precious. This is the heart from the stamp set, the little confetti. This is the same little card that had the whipped cream. I actually used Powder Pink and Fresh Fig for this card. And you know, the first few cards I actually colored the You Warm My Heart, the word heart, in Fresh Fig. I liked it better, but I got a sploogey on one of my on the one that I was using, and so I was just like, oh, and I'd already put everything away. So I decided to just go ahead and stamp it in black and then add my cup to it. But if you try this card, you should definitely color the heart either in pink or try it in Fresh Fig, because it does look super cute. All right, well, this is my fun hug in a mug card. I hope that you enjoyed my project today. Don't forget to go over to Brandy's Cards so you can find the project tutorial as well. And if you haven't subscribed to Brandy's Cards, I would love for you to subscribe so that you'll get an email as soon as I post my next video. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you need a catalog, let me know. I'd be more than happy to send you a catalog. I'd love the opportunity to answer any of your questions and, of course, earn your business. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.